Welcome to the Energy Update for the week of October 13th, 2025. This week is jam-packed. And so my energy update's going to have a lot of layers to it. So hang in there. It's a lot to it. The first thing is we begin the week a little bit somber in a way, but as the week progresses, in many ways, it can be a turning point for many people, a dramatic turning point. And some of these turning points may be felt immediately, where you find yourself catapulted into a new arena, a new social sector in your life, a new job, all kinds of things. Or it's something that you will feel that you emerge into and embrace over the next 6 months to a year. But the energy is so transformative. Uh, you know me, I love that kind of energy for certain ways. I mean, some of the challenging aspects that come with transformation are exhaustion, emotional and physical. And people may come and go from our lives, or we leave jobs or find ourselves having to get new jobs, or we may struggle with financial pressures. There could be all kinds of things that happen in this type of energy. But it's so important. There's always two sides. There's always two sides to transformation energy, and it's opportunity. And I know it's real easy, certainly in the United States, when we are mired down in some of the most extraordinary energy that I've ever experienced in my life. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of whatever may be going on in political arenas, and rather than just focus on the energy itself and ride those waves for the benefit of yourselves and others that you care about. It's not just exclusive to those outer events that want to grab your attention. Okay, so I'm expecting, especially as we get midweek, it should get really good for a lot of people. There's so much there's so much satisfaction energy, there's so much joy in the middle of the week. It's hard for me to imagine that this isn't going to touch most everybody in some way. And like I said, we start off somewhat somber, but then we get this incredible crescendo midweek. So interesting turn of events. Just always remember, my friends, that two things can be true at the same time. You can have extraordinary difficulty and conflict and this and that happening, but you can also have extraordinary opportunity and abundance still available to you. And so our ability to focus on what we need and want to focus on remains critical. And to that point, this month in the Soul Shop, October the 25th, we're going to talk about something that I don't necessarily talk about often, but I think it's important. And it has to do with what we'll be facing in November energetically. And it's, what am I supposed to be learning from my karma? What am I supposed to be taking from this moment? It can be so difficult if we're mired down in pressure. So that's going to happen on October the 25th. Of course, we do that 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. If you'd like more information, please just reach out. And if you're not in the Soul Circle on Facebook already, I'll leave the link. You can join and hear about updates and such. So yeah, pretty interesting week that's setting off a turn of events for the next 6 months to a year. Now, I said the Soul Circle was a precursor to November, which feels, it doesn't have to be negative, but it feels somewhat intense. It feels like serious, like we're getting down to business. And when you have that kind of energy, it's really focus energy, but sometimes it's dealing with some emotional upheavals and trying to do things differently. And again, some of these patterns we're experiencing this year are unlike anything we've ever experienced, certainly in my lifetime. So even though there's nuance and similarities to other patterns, it's quite different. So keep that in mind. But I wanted to talk about karma at the end of the month and how we can look at our own karma and ride the waves of the peaks and valleys and hills that karmic patterns take us through, because we might experience some of those peaks and valleys in a more significant way in November. Let's not connote that to mean negative. Let's just connote that to mean maybe more intense and concentrated. And I really want everyone to sort of shore up their reserves here in October, especially this week when we're getting some really good, nourishing, fun, great energy midweek. Okay. And then take that with us into November. And then, of course, December, it's a little more, not as intense, kind of chaotic, but this is the month to really fill ourselves up. Okay. If you have any questions and certainly comments, I absolutely want to hear them. And we're in it together, as always. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Take care.